God. He won't let me be indifferent to the world. It is a big monster which treads hard on the poor, innocent people.
For all the people. Hey.
It is a big monster which treads hard on the poor, innocence of people. People.
For all the people.
People.
Struggling.
People.
Hey.
I only ask of God. He won't let me be indifferent to injustice.
Well, let me start by saying that business in particular has to be deeply concerned about the whole issue of climate change, the challenges it presents, the opportunities it creates. And let me start with some of the adverse impacts of climate change. As my good friend Bjorn Stigson says, business cannot succeed in a society which fails. And I think that's entirely true. And the threat of climate change and the impacts that it's going to impose certainly carry the danger of failure of several societies. And I suppose it is for this reason that the Norwegian Nobel Committee awarded the 2007 Peace Prize to Al Gore and the IPCC. And I hope this year's winner of the Nobel Peace Prize will carry forward the philosophy of doing something about climate change. But we'll find out. How would climate change impacts adversely affect business? Well, there will be many more floods, there will be many more droughts, there will be many more heat waves, extreme precipitation events, and each of these has a major economic impact. And each of these would require business to take actions by which it can adapt to these circumstances.
President Obama has spoken at the UN on September 2009, and he said the danger posed by climate change cannot be denied, and our responsibility to meet must not be deferred. Future generations will look back and wonder why we refused to act, why we failed to pass an environment that was worthy of our inheritance. And that is why the days when America dragged its feet on this issue are over. So I'm here as a Secretary of Energy and as a scientist to tell you what we're doing in this realm in order to meet these obligations. The first thing to achieve our climate and energy goals is we have to use and generate energy more efficiently. Let me speak just to energy efficiency on this one. Here's a graph of the size of American refrigerator in the brown curve, the upper brown curve. In 1975, the average size of an American refrigerator was about 18 cubic feet. And by 2005, the average size was 22 cubic feet, huge by European and Asian standards. The efficiency of the refrigerators, due to the promulgation of appliance standards, has improved, now over 75%. So today's refrigerators, 2008, 2009 refrigerators, are using 1/4 of the energy they used to use, even though the size has gone up. The best technology actually offers another factor or two. Also shown in the green curve is the cost of refrigerators. When these standards were first introduced, the appliance manufacturers said the American public cannot afford these appliances, and it turned out when you adjust for inflation, the cost of the more efficient refrigerators went down by a factor of 2. Because of this and other examples, the Department of Energy has now decided to very aggressively expand our appliance efficiency standards program. We're going to be updating the standards we now have, but we're expanding into other things, into more realms of lighting, cooling, heating, and into buildings, both residential and commercial buildings.
As Alex Steffen was just talking about before, for those of you that heard that he made the point at the beginning that we cannot sacrifice our way to solving the climate issue. And I think I'm very much in line with him on that. Basically what we need is bringing alive solutions that will allow us to live a modern life with all the things that follow a modern life and the wealth and growth that we are all looking for, while still combating the climate issue. If you just start out looking at how it all fits together, then we're talking a lot about CO2 emission and what comes with that. And actually, if we put up the equation there are different factors going into that. So the level of CO2 emission is really depending on how many people we are on the earth. It's depending on how wealthy, how rich, or how much we would like to consume. Then it's dependent on how efficiently we go about using the energy or our consumption. And then, of course, how efficiently or effective or green we can actually in the first place generate the energy. It's pretty clear that the first part of this equation, we don't really want to limit the number of people on the globe. We don't really want to limit our ability to grow wealthier, to have a living standard that's increasing. So we have to look to the right side of this equation for the solution to the climate debate. It's generating the energy in a more effective or green fashion, and then really keep being more energy efficient, being more efficient in the way we use it.
What are these people going to do for water to drink? They can't use osmosis alone because it's going to be destroyed by toxic chemicals. They got to have some osmosis because it's probably brackish salt water. They can't just use chlorine because that doesn't take out. They can't use charcoal. What are they going to do? And it's not a big enough place to have a big plant. They need a little box that can take, no matter what's wrong with this water, and make it pure. So we decided we'd build a box smaller than this podium that could make 1,000 liters of pure water a day without any filters, without any chemicals, without anything, except it does need electricity. But it's 55 times as efficient as a still, so it doesn't need much. It needs half as much electricity as a handheld hairdryer to make enough water every day for 5 years for 100 people. This is not the global view or the local view. This is the view out of my office window in New Hampshire. There's the generator. I didn't have a cow giving us cow dung, so I cheat and use methane and propane, natural gas. And here's the water machine that would sit in the village, and it fills 50 of these, 20-liter jugs in a day, using less than a kilowatt from that.